Welcome back to another Living Waters community group session. Today we've been asking the question of, do you have any traits that you share with the rest of your family? For me, it's my nose, this great big thing on my face. I share it with my sisters, with my father. It's kind of a dominant trait that just goes through most of the family. But there are also ways that I'm very different from the rest of my family. I am the dreamer of my family. This is the main way that I stand out from the rest of my family. Whilst they're all there following jobs, careers, I'm the kind of person who has visions and dreams, and I have a desire to pursue them. And so this has meant my desires has often taken me off on a very different tangent in life to the rest of my family. And there's a story in the Gospels about two people that Jesus met who were part of the same family, but had two very different sets of desires that kept them working in very different ways. And the story goes something like this. Jesus and his disciples were out and they needed a place to rest. And so a woman named Martha opened her home up to Jesus. Now, in the times of the Bible, this was very common. There were no inns, there were no hotels, there wasn't the internet where you could look at places to stay. What you did was you went up and you knocked on someone's house and you asked to stay, and the expectation was that they should let you in. And so Martha does this, and Jesus comes in with his disciples and he sits down. And Martha starts tidying the house and doing all those things you do when you've got a guest over. And in comes her sister, Mary. And Mary doesn't help Martha. Mary just comes and she sits down at the feet of Jesus and listens to him teaching. And she just sits there, listening and learning. And now Martha's busy clearing the house, cleaning, getting things ready for dinner, and she gets so frustrated. She sees Mary sitting there, not helping out, not helping make this home a lovely place for the guest. And she loses it. And she goes, Lord, why are you letting my sister just sit there whilst I'm doing all this work? Tell her to help me. And Jesus looks at Martha. He says, Martha, Martha, you have your mind set on many things right now, but only one thing is needed. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken from her. And that's all the gospel writers tell us. They give us this one sister who was working hard to clean the house, and this one sister who didn't help out and just sat and learned from Jesus. See, one had the desire to make the house look great for the guest. The other had the desire to listen to Jesus. And Jesus says, this was the better desire. So, as you go into this story in more depth and you look at your own desires, be asking yourself the question today of, what are my desires and how are they impacting my life and my decisions, for the better or for the worst? Have a great discussion. Goodbye, and God bless.